All right, we're
Oh,
live.
good afternoon. Sorry, it's good morning, actually.
I don't know if it's the morning, man. I'd say it's the afternoon, but
We always say good morning, though.
regardless. Hello, everybody. Today is yet another very special recording of the Triple Threat Show live on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I am Jeremy, joined by my two friends and co-hosts, Shane and Hayden. Back with
Hello.
Today we have some very exciting stuff for you. First of all, Happy New Year, everybody. This is our first show of 2022. I'm glad we made it. I wasn't so sure about it, but we did it. Rounds of applause, you know.
The show's lasted what? We started in September.
I don't know.
Yeah. We're almost at 6 months.
That's wow. Do we have an anniversary to throw?
I don't know. I'm not
No?
one for celebrating anniversaries, but
We'll throw a massive party.
Massive party. All right. Well,
how have your New Year started off so far?
I came back down to Harrisonburg. So now, very exciting stuff. I'm back. So two out of three people are here. So we could just cut Shane out, done a little live show on the radio.
Fair enough.
Break into the station. What are they gonna do, right?
What are you gonna do? Because I feel like if I got there that early, I just wouldn't know what to do with all that free time.
I don't know. Relax. Not be scared that my family's gonna give me COVID.
yeah, that's pretty fair. Fair enough. Because
Yeah.
you don't have that aspect. Yeah, my family really doesn't.
Yeah, my family really doesn't do COVID, so.
Yeah, my family just doesn't get the COVID, so. Like, if anything, I would be the most likely to give my family COVID just because I go to the ice rink. So, like, I'm the most in public.
Shame on you.
Yeah, shame on me. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Had a great men's league game last night, though.
Yeah, had that. What happened?
5-4 shootout victory. I had 2 goals, so I'm feeling pretty happy about myself.
Exciting.
Super exciting. Trick. No, yeah. I came really close to a hat trick, though.
Can you move your car, please?
Can you get Dad to do it? Sorry, that was my brother. He has to go to work. Anyway, yeah, I was like super close on the hat trick. Like in the third period, like I was right. I had the back door wide open. It's just the puck was bouncing and I just like missed it with the stick and then I got tackled by a guy. But I drew a penalty that led to closing the lead. We were down 4-2. So I drew a penalty and we scored on that power play to make it 4-3.
Alrighty then.
And then I had another one where I was one-on-one with the defenseman. Like I just put it in the defenseman's feet and I just somehow got around the guy with the puck. And then I just went glove side. And it was one of those where it like I shot at low glove and the glove like came down as the puck was like as he brought his glove down and it just deflected wide. It was just the hockey gods did not want me to have a hat trick that night.
So sad.
Yeah.
I'm literally crying.
I can see. But the important thing is we got the dub. If that's all that matters. Those 2 goals don't mean anything if we don't win.
I mean, they kind of mean something though.
Yeah. But the goals always feel better when you win a game.
You good, Aiden?
It's just so sad.
Tragic. I couldn't get a hat trick in an adult league game.
I know. So unfair.
So sad.
Yep.
So sad. I want to try something new, guys. I want to try something new. Okay. I want to hand off the duties of the JMU Sports Report to our good friend Shane for this episode.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah, I want to let him. I want to give him a try. See what he can do. So.
Yeah, there wasn't.
I'm just glad it's on me.
There wasn't that much in the JMU news today. I think the basketball games got delayed, and then the volleyball team, the girls volleyball team, signed a transfer from Cincinnati, Alexandra Kwasnik. I'm in the middle of something right
I
now.
need your car keys to move so he can get his
Yeah. Here you go.
You have both sets?
I'm kind of in the middle of something.
Yeah, the other key.
It's back in the apartment. Sorry, my family just likes to barge in.
Understandable.
Yeah. Which is why I can't wait to be moving back next week.
Oh, he
Anyway,
misses us.
He misses
Yeah.
us.
He misses us.
I do miss you guys.
Yeah. My antics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a different, different roommates. Anyway, so Alexandra Kwasnik, I looked at her stats a bit. So she's a middle blocker. She's just like a do-it-all kind of player. So like she can get kills, she can get sets, she can get blocks, she can get digs, she can do everything. And I think this would be a really good addition to she could be like the third threat of the triple threat of Veldman and Davis. She could add to that because we lost a really good defensive player because she graduated. So this could help replace that void and just all around great player and could really help this volleyball team out. And they said in the article that they were looking at her to recruit her when she was a senior in high school, but she just went to Cincinnati. And then when they found her in the transfer portal again, they're like, all right, we want to get this player because they were trying to recruit her earlier.
Right.
So I like this move, good addition for the volleyball team. So this could help them in their move to the Sun Belt.
All right. Absolutely. I agree.
And then another Chase DeLauder update. Can never talk enough about that guy. He got named to a preseason All-American.
It's
Perfect
exciting.
games, right?
For
Perfect
what?
game.
Perfect game,
Rowling.
Yeah.
Perfect game in Rowlings.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's awesome.
Those are two pretty good lists.
Those are good lists. Thank you, Hayden.
Yeah. Anytime.
Wow.
So that's about it for JMU news. There's not a whole lot there because we're still in winter break, so nothing much is going on.
Also, COVID, winter
Yeah,
break,
COVID.
COVID, all that stuff combined.
Everything's
is
getting
not-
canceled.
Yeah.
All fun stuff.
Super fun stuff.
Even you, Shane.
Huh?
You're getting canceled.
What did I do this time?
Just your good looks.
So good looking, I have to get canceled for him.
Mm-hmm. I think it's plastic.
So what do you want to move on to now? Should we just go right into hockey?
Yeah, let's jump into something I like to call a little bit of hockey.
And we need one more little bit of.
No. I did what I
Oh, he
needed
was
to do.
stalling.
Yeah, no, I wasn't stalling. No, I would never. I'm so ready for this right now.
I can tell.
So let's start this off with an uplifting story. So assistant
Oh.
equipment manager Brian Hamilton, he was, just on the bench during a Vancouver Canucks game against the Seattle Kraken. And during that game, he saw a fan banging on the glass holding up her phone. And the phone said, hey, get that mole in the back of your neck checked out. It could be cancerous. So after the game, he gets it checked out, and it turns out it was like stage 2 melanoma. So if it didn't get diagnosed earlier, it could have been led to further complications. So
That's crazy.
he went to the Vancouver Canucks social media page saying, hey, I want to find and acknowledge and thank personally this very special person. She saved my life pretty much. If she didn't go out of her way to let me know about this. And so due to social media, they found her. Her name is Nadia Popovici. She is a med school student, and with her experience volunteering at hospitals, she noticed the mole at the back of his neck. And they honored her during Seattle's next game, and she received a $10,000 scholarship from the organizations Vancouver and Seattle for her med school. So that's just a great story. You love to see it. It's just, these are some very depressing times right now, and it's just nice to see someone going out of their way to help somebody that could have led to a very fatal situation.
Right.
A really uplifting story in hockey news right now. So I would like to start it off with that. Because it's just super uplifting and wholesome because you just don't see stuff like this every day.
I agree. Thank you, Shane.
Okay,
No
I thought
problem.
I thought there was like a transition there where then he was just gonna like ruin our lives with some news.
So speaking of Vancouver Canucks, our boy Bruce Boudreau, he had the 7-game winning streak, longest winning streak to start off a tenure with a new team. It got snapped earlier. He is now 7-0-1 so far, but Vancouver seems to be heading in the right direction. So we'll just see how far that goes. The Winter Classic also happened this week.
It did happen.
They took place at the Twins field where the Twins play. I don't really know the stadium name at the top of my head.
I think
What?
Target Field
Target Field?
sounds
Yeah,
right.
so it was the coldest NHL outdoor game ever. It got to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. It was freezing cold.
And they were like wearing flip-flops and stuff.
Oh, yeah. So the St. Louis team, they came out with the beach-themed dress wear. So all of them came out with like beach shirts and shorts. It was funny. And that swagger probably helped them come in and win that game.
It wasn't even close. It was 6-1, wasn't it?
The final score was 6-4. But so after one period, it was, I believe, 2-1. David Perron got the first goal. And then Kaprizov ties it with a lucky bounce. He just kind of threw it in front as he was skating wide, and it just went off a defenseman and in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I believe Kyrou got a goal before the period ended or an assist. And in the second period, the Blues just dominated that period, especially Jordan Kyrou. He had 4 points, 2 goals, 2 assists in the second period, gave him that 6-1 lead. And then Rem Pitlick got this insanely lucky bounce where he was behind the net, again, just trying to throw it in front, goes off the defenseman's stick, goes off the goalie's helmet and into the back of the net. So it was Minnesota was getting a lot of lucky bounces, but again, 6-2 deficit, hard to come back from. And then in the third period, they start to come back. They pulled their goalie ridiculously early at like the 8-minute mark, and they managed to get it to 6-4. But again, too much of a deficit. Then they just couldn't finish. And to Minnesota's credit, they were coming in with a lot of injuries. Arguably, their 3 best players, not named Kaprizov, were injured that game. Their captain and best defenseman, Jared Spurgeon, was injured. Jonas Brodin, their second best defenseman, was injured. And Joel Eriksson, their first line center, also out with injuries. So they were already handicapped to begin with. But Kaprizov still put up a goal and 2 assists. Kaprizov had a great night, as he should, but the depth is definitely depleted with all these injuries.
Damn.
And with these injuries, they called up their 2 last first-round picks, Matthew Boldy and Marco Rossi. So they're playing in Boston tonight, and these prospects have a ton of hype. You know, first-round picks, they put up point-per-game numbers in the AHL. Marco Rossi, like coming off a devastating heart issue due to COVID complications. He looks back better than ever. Also, short king. He's only 5'7", so just like underdog guy to root for, and just insanely skilled. He was the leading scorer in the OHL, which is one of the best junior leagues. So very exciting. I'm going to watch their game tonight. It's on ESPN at 7, so I'm really excited to watch those guys play.
Is it on ESPN or is it on ESPN Plus?
ESPN.
All right, because that's makes a difference always.
Yeah. I mean, it should be on. I don't know how ESPN Plus works, but I think the game should be on there.
It
If
would
it's
be
not
on
ESPN.
there, but I mean,
Yeah.
you would just watch it on
Yeah.
TV. I think with ESPN, with like regular ESPN broadcasts, you have to have your TV service provider like logged in.
Yep. No, it's fine. This is not an ad, I promise.
So they're making their season debut against Boston tonight.
Pretty good team.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Boston was struggling this season.
They're not doing as well as expected. Again, losing David Krejci, their second line center. He went to the Czech Republic. just to be closer with family. And he was in his late 30s, but he could still play some good hockey. They still haven't found a replacement yet. And you can just really tell with the scoring, their scoring depth is just not as good as it used to be. And they're also missing Tuukka Rask. So having that solid goaltender in net really hurts them too. But Tuukka Rask is looking, he's signed a tryout contract with the AHL affiliate. So he seems to be getting closer to recovery. And if they get Tuukka Rask back, that could help rebound their season because a good goaltender can change anything.
Absolutely, I agree.
And then another player that's coming back from injury is Evgeny Malkin. Evgeny Malkin, he's practicing with the team. He had shoulder surgery, I believe, and he's looking to join this red-hot Penguins team. At the start of the year, they had so many injuries, and I foolishly predicted that I don't think that they're making the playoffs. Their playoff streak is going to end this year. I don't know how they're going to come up with these injuries. They're getting older. They're just not as good as they used to be. And then they proceed to prove me wrong again. Because it's like every year with this team, it's like, all right, when is the year this team's just going to fall off a cliff? But props to the head coach, Mike Sullivan, for keeping this team together. They had a good start. Then they started to slip a bit. But now then, since their injured players are coming back, they are just proving why they're perennial cup contenders. Like Brian Rust, he was injured at the start of the season. He's having phenomenal season so far. He just had a hat trick and a 2-goal game in his last 2 games. Crosby still looks the same, still looks like one of the best players in the league. Jake Getzel was on a ridiculous point streak for a while. Tristan Jarry's playing very well. He looks like the number 1 goalie they need. It's just Jarry just very much choked in the playoffs when they needed him most. And one of the most surprising players for me, Evan Rodriguez, he's like the William Karlsson of this year. Just a player that came out of nowhere, had no expectations, and he's just putting off a really good season. He scored last night. He has 26 points in 31 games, like really helped this team when they were losing. They didn't have Crosby and they didn't have that depth, and they needed the depth guys to step up. It's like, I didn't even know this guy existed, except for, I know he played for Buffalo, but when you play for Buffalo,
well, that doesn't matter then. I don't think that really counts.
Like, who the heck is this guy? And then Pittsburgh picks him up, and then Mike Sullivan dusts his magic on him, and he just turns into a perennial good player. So it's just, this team just keeps finding these guys and just turns them into quality NHL players. And they're the hottest team in the league. They're on a 10-game win streak. And if I'm in the Metro, if I'm in the East, I am scared of this team right now.
Goddamn Penguins.
Yeah, they just
always the Penguins.
And they don't even have Malkin, which is the worst part.
Is Crosby back? I know he like came back
Crosby's
and then
back
got COVID
and he's playing,
and then got hurt again.
Well.
Or
he's back and he's playing well.
All right.
So I think Mike Sullivan, I don't think he has a head coach of the year, the Jack Adams Award. I think he's one of the coaches. I don't think he does, and I think he's really due for one.
I swear he got one of those during like their back-to-back cups or whatever.
I think we should fact check that.
Nah, we don't need to fact check things.
Because I know what surprised me, John Cooper doesn't have one.
I don't know who that is.
Head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, right. No. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't have one either, so there's a lot of coaches who really deserve it that don't have it.
It's only one award a year, right?
Yeah.
So.
And then
can always work out.
Pittsburgh Penguins' longtime rival, the Washington Capitals. Alex Ovechkin just keeps breaking records. During a game versus Detroit, he surpassed Dave Andreychuk in all-time power play goals. He now sits in first place all alone with 275 goals in the power play, which is like not surprising. We all thought he was going to do it, but it's just this legitimizes him. It's just one of the biggest power play threats of all time, best goal scorer of all time, and just working his way towards Gretzky's record. It's really great to see.
Oh yeah, no, it's a lot of fun to watch.
And it was your typical one-timer from top of the circle on the left side. You just love to see it.
Right from The Office.
In The Office. And Nicholas Backstrom's back.
He's back.
He played one game, got an assist, and then immediately got put in COVID protocol again. But
Makes sense.
we're looking forward to seeing him back in the lineup. They've cooled down a bit after their hot streak. They're not doing as well, but I think once everyone gets healthy and things get back rolling again, they should be fine.
All right.
Let's see what else I have here. Yeah, that's all I have so far. I mean, the Islanders are still not doing great. The Nashville Predators are first place in the Central now.
Oh, wait, actually, the
They're
Predators.
first place in the. It's just weird seeing them at the top because there was one of the last teams I expected of being close to a playoff spot, let alone first in their division. We talked about this previously, and everything that could have gone right for them just has gone right. Like Yossi Saros, like putting up a Vezina caliber season. Roman Yossi, Norris caliber defenseman. He can go coast to coast like it's nothing. And then all of the forwards who've been constant underperformers are actually performing up to their contracts. Matt Duchene was given a big free agent contract. He's looking like that first line center we thought he was again. Mikael Granlund, former Minnesota Wild, who was traded to Nashville. He's putting almost a point per game season up, just insanely good playmaker. Philip Forsberg's insanely skilled. This team is Nashville's just another one of those teams. They refuse to suck. No matter how much you try, they will always find a way to stay competitive.
Well, that's a good thing. That's a sign of a good culture and a team that likes their coach and stuff like that.
Because Barry Trotz used to be the coach for Nashville, and it was just another one of those things. They shouldn't have performed as well as they did during that time, but Barry Trotz really helped get that team and the culture right there. And then a team that's on the opposite end of the spectrum, the Edmonton Oilers, I believe they're now on a 7 or 8 game losing streak. So they had a really hot start to the season, had an insanely good power play. But now that power play is kind of regressing back to normal standards, a lot of their flaws that we stated at the beginning of the season are now being shown. They also have a lot of injuries, but that still doesn't excuse. It's just the same old issues with Edmonton. It's just they don't have depth outside of McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nugent Hopkins. They just have no depth whatsoever. Like that's where all their offense is coming from. And if you want to be a cup contender, you just can't rely on your top guys to perform every night because they can't do it by themselves.
Right.
So who knows what's going to happen after this season? Their goaltending has not been playing well. And this team just needs a trade or something to get this team going, maybe a head coaching change, but things are just not looking great in Edmonton right now.
It's a shame. It was after their coach resigned, right?
That was Winnipeg had their coach resign.
Right.
There's talks about
Winnipeg.
Edmonton firing their head coach because of this awful stretch they're going to.
Makes sense.
I also heard from somewhere that if you're Edmonton, you would be interested in Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, Chicago.
Is he even available?
Yeah, he's on the last year of his contract.
No. But like, is Chicago? Didn't they just trade for him?
Yeah, but they got really nothing for him. And if Chicago doesn't make playoffs, what's the point of having Fleury available? Because Chicago's kind of like, I don't know what that organization's doing anymore because Stan Bowman's trying to be competitive and then he got relieved of duty. So I don't really know what direction they're taking with their interim GM.
Right, because it sounds like when you go out and make all these offseason moves that you're trying to win.
Yeah, but this team, I just don't trust Chicago. I just feel like they have so much offensive potential, but they always find some way just to screw it up, especially these past 5 years. I just don't think they're in it to win it. So if they're not in a playoff position by the trade deadline, I can definitely see him move Fleury because they didn't really give up much for Fleury. It was
Really?
probably like it was more of a cap dump for Vegas because Vegas is right up against the salary cap, so they
Right.
needed to move people. So they already had Robin Leonard on a better contract, so they could move Fleury.
Mhm.
And Fleury is definitely still one of the top performers in the league. And Edmonton just hasn't found that stable number one goalie yet, except for like a 40-year-old Mike Smith, and you just can't trust on a
You got a
40-year-old
problem with Mike
goaltender.
Smith?
I love Mike Smith, but he's not a number one goalie on a contending team.
You sure about that?
And then injuries too. He's been very injury prone this last few years. Like he's
Well-
injured right now, and Mikko Koskinen is just proving not to be the clutch goalie they need. And I think if you're Edmonton, you go big or go home. And if you can get Chicago to retain salary, and you can just find the assets to get Fleury, that would be a huge addition for Edmonton.
So they're getting Fleury for a year. It's a rental, right? I don't
Yeah.
think they're getting Chicago to retain salary if it's just a 1-year rental.
No, that's like the best time to retain salary because it's off the books by next season. It's like if you're retaining salary for like a long, like 8-year, $9 million contract, that's when it's like, all right, we're not retaining that.
Well, that's only if you really want to get rid of him. I
Yeah.
don't know.
So it's just like a 1-year contract, hold on to salary for a year, then it's off the books. Like you got nothing for him. So you're easily going to make like more for what you got for him, especially
Right.
if you're not going to the playoffs.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And goaltending's king. So if Edmonton can just find that goaltender and they just get healthy again, who knows what's going to happen. And for hockey, that's all I have, unless you guys have anything I've missed.
Nah, you covered it. Absolute madman.
Sweet.
All right. Hayden, I'm gonna take a wild guess that there was no news in baseball.
I mean, there's a little bit of news.
What you got for us?
The news is that they're still haven't met, and pitchers and catchers report in like a month. Like
Sounds like
and a
there's not
week,
going to be
5
any spring
weeks.
training. Sounds like there's not going to be any spring
Sounds
training.
like spring training might get delayed a little bit here. The last meeting, from what I see, is December 1st.
Wow, that's like a whole ass month ago.
Yeah. So it's looking less that we're gonna see full season of baseball.
Love it. That's like the exact opposite of what they
Oh,
need to be doing. Right
yeah.
now. It's
Is it
not-
because of COVID? Are they trying to meet in person? Or are they just
I
I
think
think they're
putting up?
just
COVID and the holidays probably.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
also like they're just
They're-
not.
they're also just inept.
Incompetent, some might say.
Yeah,
SAT words as always by you
Always.
guys.
that's what we need.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
words make people think we're smart.
People know I'm not smart. It's fine.
Okay. Oh shoot! Wait.
Which
wait,
makes
wait,
you
wait.
perfect for having a radio show.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Talking
I'm
about
sorry.
sports.
I forgot. I'm so sorry.
That's all. Whatever.
I forgot.
Didn't you already get the switch?
Look, we did it. Now we can talk baseball.
As if we weren't doing it already.
No, we weren't because I didn't have the background on. We were still talking hockey.
Are you about to make me repeat everything I just said?
No, I'm not going to make you
Okay.
repeat it.
Yeah.
All right. So, is that all you had?
That's all that's happened.
That's all that's happened.
I can talk about my fake baseball.
We'll get to that once we finish. Because, there's not a lot this week, as you can tell. It's been a very.
There's some basketball news.
There is a little bit of basketball news.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want, I could always go into other details about hockey because I could talk about that all day.
I know you could. We'll get back to it if we need to
Fake
fill more
baseball
time.
is more important.
Whoa.
I mean, from a revenue and cultural,
I don't know,
No,
man. The
cultural can be
specifically
debated.
baseball is peak.
America's game.
yeah, it's definitely more valuable for North America. Yeah.
For sure.
If you're going to argue baseball is just a more important sport, I would say, yeah, just because it has more revenue. It's more popular in North America,
Hey, and it's more popular in,
worldwide.
like, not worldwide, but
Yeah.
like you go over into Asia, yeah.
Is it really big in Asia? I know Japan has a
Japan and-
professional league.
Japan, Korea.
All
It's
right.
big.
Korea, it's massive.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's basketball in China.
there's a little bit of baseball in China. Other than that, it's a lot of Latin America.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
that's
hockey is only really popular
crazy
where it's
there.
like really fucking cold.
hmm
So like the Sweden, Finland, Russia, the Nordic countries.
Brazil is the new untapped market in baseball.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
They're trying to like train a bunch of Brazilians to play baseball. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, aren't you saying like it's pretty they're doing some unethical things down there too?
When are they not? It's baseball.
It's, yeah, it's
When are they
baseball.
not?
It's I mean, they've definitely done some unethical, and it's kind of just like, oh, this is capitalism, but
Of course.
of course.
It's only natural capitalism, right?
This is what the Americans fought so hard for in Vietnam.
Of course. All right, I'm gonna talk about some basketball now. You ready for this?
Yep.
Please do, please.
Big piece of news. Super big piece of news, actually. Kyrie Irving is back. Kyrie Irving made his season debut last night, and you remember how we were talking about? I don't know if you actually do. We talked about the whole Kyrie saga a lot in the basketball off season, in the beginning of the basketball season. I'm not sure how much of that you remember.
What team is he on now?
He's
The
on
Knicks?
the Nets. The Nets.
Nets. Almost.
Brooklyn.
Almost. But he is like we talked about. He was brought back as a part-time player, and he made his debut last night playing the Pacers in Indiana because he's not allowed to play home games. So that's always interesting. And he had a good game. He played 20 minutes, had 15 points. It's pretty good for a debut. He's not in basketball shape, so he's not going to play as much as he normally would, but he'll get there over the course of the season, and it's something that the Nets really need because they've been in a little bit of a slump lately, actually. So,
Yeah, super talented player. It's just if he gets his act together.
I mean, it's just vaccine mandates is all it is.
Yeah. But isn't he known to be like a very polarizing personality too?
Yeah, he is.
So it's just like super talented player, but it's just, who knows what he's stirring up in the locker room. And
I mean, he's friends.
Distractions
It's not.
media.
It's not like he's a locker room issue.
all right.
It's just like he's very outspoken.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing,
Yeah.
but it's like he's just a very opinionated, outspoken guy.
But
So-
doesn't that, I know there's narratives around him being like an outspoken guy is like a distraction to the team or whatnot.
Yeah, but I mean, he's good enough and he's friends with everyone. Basketball, there's only like 10 people, 12 people on a team,
Yeah,
So it's like a lot more of a tight-knit group than a lot of other sports, I think.
I gotcha. So do you
Um,
think he's going to have a more involved role and he's going to help this team make a playoff push? Or
I mean, they're already squarely in the playoffs,
all
they're
right.
that's not a worry. But I mean, it never hurts to have another superstar on your team ever.
Oh, yeah.
And they already have Kevin Durant, best player in the world right now, and James Harden, who's having a really bad season, but like he's still James Harden.
Yeah, he can just go
And
on
turn
a
it
run.
on, flip the switch anytime. So I mean, that's a massive massive get back for the Nets.
Damn,
as
that
they-
sounds like it would be a stacked team like 5 years ago.
It's a stacked team now.
Yeah. I'm just imagining when James Harden finally gets back to his old ways, that's going to be a nasty team.
I mean, they had that last year, but then they got hit with injuries. So
Yeah.
Who knows?
Really
We'll
gotta hate
see.
the injury bug.
Goddamn injuries. We'll see what's gonna happen. We'll see. We will see. But that is, I mean, like I said, that's all I had for basketball. What's up, Hayden?
I don't know. My phone just made a noise.
Oh, it
They-
sounded like you going,
No,
They tend to do that.
my phone just started moaning at me. No, I don't even know what it was. Let's
Fun.
see.
fun.
Oh, there was a YouTube, Twitter video just started playing because I was looking to see if I could find something sports news to talk about. But
Right. I'm gonna
I
get into
did.
some. You did?
yeah,
What'd you find?
The Athletic is about to get bought
Oh yeah, I
know.
saw that
for
Who's it?
550 million by the New York Times.
from the New York Times. Yeah.
That's it? Only 550 mil. Only. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather that than any of the gambling like companies to buy it,
yeah.
But that's just me personally.
I thought it'd go for more.
Are you just worried about how big gambling's gonna get, and then the whole gambling addiction issue
Yes,
that's
I
gonna be
think
big in
the
sports?
whole especially because I mean, I don't know if it's how the same in football and like basketball and hockey, but in baseball, like they absolutely like crucified some people for like sports gambling for like the longest time. Pete Rose.
I mean, yeah.
Oh yeah, like the history of baseball. There's a lot of betting in
Right.
there.
I mean, it's not allowed in sports. There was a basketball ref, a referee who was put in jail for betting on games he's working. So he actually has a lot of control in that. Kind of fixing games.
So are you worried about players fixing games? Or are you more
No, not at all. It's just like I feel like there was like this whole like idea that like, oh, we avoid this. This is like something that's taboo and we don't talk about this.
Yeah, they
And then-
literally kicked Pete Rose out of baseball.
And then they like, oh, we can make a lot of money from this. Like, hey, sports gambling,
It's like, we can make a lot of money through the detriment of others.
yeah. And it's just,
Bad
I mean,
financial decisions.
yes, that's part of it. But I'm the opinion if that's how you want to spend your money. Go
Yeah.
ahead. I understand there's very real gambling addiction. People with really bad gambling addiction. And it's an addiction. Like it's a disease.
Yeah.
It sucks, but like that, it happens. I guess. I just like the way that like it was kind of like the whole idea of like gambling in sports was like kind of like not cool, and then all this money came in and they're like, oh, this is so cool, and now like everyone's legalizing
As soon
it.
as they figured out we could make a lot of money off this,
yeah, it's just
everyone
like,
jumps on board.
I don't know. I try to think of myself as a very like morally decent person, and that just doesn't seem like a very morally good thing to do.
It's just it's like with most things, it's fun in moderation. If you just want to throw like $10, like chance to make 20, it's like, why not? But once you start like spending hundreds of dollars a week on it, then there's a problem.
This is where it becomes a problem, unless you're
You
winning.
mean investing in the stock market?
Yeah, unless you're winning, it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Are you comparing investing in the stock market to gambling?
Yeah, it's
or-
the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is gambling.
with the stock market, if you know what you're doing, you can make a return on it.
And if you know what you're doing in sports gambling, you can make a return.
But with sports betting, it's more because the stock market is always going to be in an upward trend.
No, it's not.
Well, just
You ever
like
heard
for
of-
the past however many years, it's
Ever
trending
heard
upwards.
of the Great Depression?
Well,
You ever
yeah,
heard of the economic recession in 2000?
yes,
whatever?
but the stock market has always bounced back, right?
You ever heard of the economic recession we're currently in because of COVID? We're dealing with.
Stock market's on the up and up, though, Jeremy.
Stock market's on the up and up always.
That's all that matters. As long as the elite
Can,
get
can I
richer.
finish and make my point?
Sure, sorry.
Well, yes, it's always going to be in an upward projection. So like if you know if you're investing long term, that's what your 401k is for, like saving for retirement. It's like going into the stock market and other bonds and assets and stuff like that.
I don't know that. Yeah. I'm
Like
just
with
saying,
sports
like,
gambling, you're betting on a team to perform, and sometimes you're going to make a big, sometimes you're going to lose a lot. Like it's not as much of a guarantee because it's just random at that point.
Look,
like,
man, I
again,
think
that's the stock market.
it is the stock. Stock market is literally betting on a company. You're saying I think this company's gonna do better.
Yeah, the next thing you
Yeah.
know, it's like
It goes.
it turns out
bankrupt.
that their chicken that they're making is actually little babies. And then look at that, your company just you
and
got
then at
no
that
money.
point, it's just random.
Yeah. But like investing in
That could happen any
Microsoft is
day.
different from investing in like betting on a team that could just get hampered with injuries or just have a bunch of bad bounces go their way.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
the exact same
died,
idea.
and
I'm
Microsoft
gonna
crashed.
put all my money into this tech company. Oh no,
Yeah.
the founder.
Well,
the
that's why you
founder-
diversify and invest in ETFs or mutual funds like that.
I'm not
just
trying to
so-
argue with you about how the stock market is a
NFTs?
safer.
NFTs are not. Yeah.
I'm not trying to argue with you, Shane, about the stock market. All right, that's incredibly boring. What I'm trying to tell you is that it is gambling. It's just legal gambling.
Yeah, but there's a lot less risk in that than sports betting.
I think I'd be better at sports gambling than the stock market.
Like I know you have very high risk tolerance and like you keep up to date with a lot of sports. So hypothetically, maybe for you it's less risky, but for like the average person, if you just invest your retirement into ETFs, which are generally seen as safe, or mutual funds, you like with the general trajectory of the stock market, I think it's safer than sports betting, is what I'm trying to say.
Sometimes I forget that Shane's a business major or finance major. And so
Yeah.
then when I'm like, I do my whole rah capitalism rants, you're out here trying to logic me. All right.
Yeah. Imagine trying to logic somebody. Well, there's
Imagine.
like pros and cons to everything. And there's definitely some huge cons in capitalism.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's worked very well for some people.
Yeah.
All right, we're a sports
why
show.
it's
We're
never gonna
not like
change.
a economy show. We should probably get back to sports.
I don't know, Shane.
That was a nice discussion on sports.
Man pulled out the goddamn ETFs.
I sure as hell did.
I love you, Shane.
The
sometimes love you guys
electronic
too.
tangible function.
We're gonna talk some football. I love me some football, right?
Same here.
But I want to start with Antonio Brown.
Oh boy.
I want to do this. For those who don't know, Antonio Brown is a very talented receiver, formerly of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Las Vegas Raiders, and the New England Patriots. His story is really interesting. This week, he stormed in the middle of the third quarter. He threw all his stuff into the stands. He took off his shirt, threw it into the stands, ran across the middle of the end zone, gave the little peace out sign, and disappeared into the tunnel. The Buccaneers were losing by 7 points to the Jets at this point. They came back and won the game. That didn't matter because it's the Jets. But it's all about the aftermath here. Antonio Brown has now been officially released as of today, right? Apparently, the discussion on the sideline, when something like, according to Bruce Arians, he told the coach of the Buccaneers, he told Antonio Brown to get into the game multiple times, and he didn't. Antonio Brown claims he didn't go into the game because he re-aggravated an ankle injury. The ankle injury that was bothering him all week. He sat out a few practices and stuff, but he was cleared for the game. So Bruce Arians told him, and you know how like mad parents are like, fine, just leave then. He was like, all right, if you're not going in the game, just go to the locker room. And Antonio Brown was like, all right, I'm going to the locker room.
Don't threaten Antonio Brown with a good time.
So he runs into the locker room. And this has obviously gone out into a massive ordeal, right?
Yeah.
Security actually thought he was a fan on the field. When he was walking out, they didn't recognize him. And apparently he asked state troopers for a ride to the airport.
This man has a flair for the dramatic.
It's not even it. So he went on social media to defend himself, right? And he was like,
As you do.
and I quote this part. He said, he left because he is a, quote, super Kremlin.
With a G or a K?
What?
What did he
Kremlin
say?
or Gremlin?
Gremlin. Like
Okay.
the little monster thing.
Yeah. I just heard Kremlin, but I was like, that's not right.
What a
Man. Super. Hold on.
this guy needs help. He needs so much help.
Hold on. Shoot, where is it? Where is it? No. No.
I don't know.
Dang it.
This man needs some therapy.
Ugh. I wanted to find his tweet.
Same.
I can't find his actual tweet.
Don't we all? But some need it more than others.
Whatever. It's
I
fine.
don't know.
I can't find the tweet. I really wanted to
You
read
just
it.
see
word
what
for
this
word.
guy does, and it's like this guy's not mentally all there.
Right.
Clearly.
So this, in all honesty, is probably the end of his career. Tom Brady was the only one that was really vouching for him after everything went down in 2018, 2019. So he's probably done at this point, which is
Probably.
really sad.
I thought that last time, and then he signed with Tampa.
Tampa was his last bridge, I believe. Truly, I really do.
It wouldn't surprise me if some team tried to sign him, but yeah.
And that's the thing, right? Because this man had, when he was in his prime with the Steelers, he was being talked about as possibly the greatest receiver of all time.
Oh, 100%. Like him and Big Ben, they just had that connection.
Right. And then stuff happened. A lot of stuff went down. He kind of went insane in the offseason. A lot of charges brought against him. And he was out of the league for 2 years. He came back with Tampa, and he won a Super Bowl, and now this happens. I don't think there's another team that's going to give him a shot. I really don't. There's just a lot. It's the risk reward, I think, for a lot of teams just isn't worth it.
Save yourself the headache.
Right. Because he was also hurt all season.
What do you think of the CTE theories, or some people speculate?
I don't think that's what it is. Because if you go back to his college years, there were reports of him being like a diva and having this kind of personality. This could be a problem in locker rooms. So this isn't like this is just him. Like I'm sure getting hit in the head a bunch doesn't help.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like completely it wasn't like CTE hit a switch in his brain and then he went insane, you know. He was already not doing great.
It would be fascinating to get a CAT scan on this guy.
They will eventually.
Yeah. It's just like what's going on in his brain,
right,
just to cause all of this.
Absolutely. Some more fun stuff. You know how the Washington football team changed their name to the Washington football team a little while ago?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yep.
Shane, what if I were to tell you they were going to change their name again?
Again.
Yeah.
What would they change it to?
Well, I'm glad you asked because we're going to find out on February 2nd. The new name, not just the placeholder name of Washington football team, the new name will be officially announced on February 2nd. Now, Hayden, I know, has some theories of what it should be called. But I want to hear those. I do. But Shane, I want to hear what you think the Washington football team will be called.
My first thought is that they're gonna on February, there's gonna be like, we're changing the name from the Washington football team, and we're keeping it the Washington football team, just to piss
That's what
everybody
they should
off.
do.
Yeah? Is that what you think?
I'm sorry, there's no name better than the Washington football team.
You're telling me you don't like the Washington Dragons? we were watching this there's like a topic, and people just gave like little voice recordings of what they thought the name should be, and so one dude was like, they should change their name to the Washington Dragons. And he went on for like 2 minutes about why it makes sense for them to be the Dragons.
It's the worst 2 minutes of my life.
The Washington Dragons, Hayden.
I like the football team. It's grown on me. Like, it's so
know.
stupid to the point where I like it.
It's not even stupid. It's just like so
Yeah.
plain, and it's just clean, and
It's
like,
memorable.
There's not going to be any name that people are going to universally like.
Yeah.
and
there
so
isn't.
just keep it to the one that everyone's used to. It's not
Well, I
like a bad
mean,
name.
No, it's not.
It
It's
could
not
be a
bad.
lot worse, is what I'm saying. Like
It could be
the
worse.
Washington Dragons. Like that is awful.
Excuse me,
Please no.
Dragons.
Dragons.
Like just
The
every
Wizards
idea
need a
I've seen-
counterpart. The Wizards need a counterpart.
And then the Capitals will be
The
changed to the Magic.
Capitals have the Nationals. They're both patriotic.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
The
I gotcha.
Wizards needs a counterpart. The Wizards and the Dragons. Oh, that was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever heard.
There's some of those on there.
The
were
Washington Orcs.
They also came out with like an official like top 12 list of what it would be. So, unfortunately, the Dragons were not on there.
Wasn't it like
The
Wolves,
Goblins
the
were,
Eagles,
though.
the Goblins,
The Goblins?
the Washington Goblins?
Goblins on these nuts, baby. Oh. No, it was not that. It was like Wolves, Red Wolves, Commanders, Washington football team, Hogs or whatever. The Washington Hogs, the Washington Generals or something. I don't know.
Generals is just so, I don't know. It's just so boring, I guess.
Wow.
Again, football team's the best one. I don't want
Yeah.
to hear anything otherwise because you're wrong. All right.
I'm on the football team bandwagon. It's just so, it's like a meme. Just keep it the meme.
All right. I mean, yeah, I don't mind it. I really don't. There were also a lot of records broken in this last week. So generally, there's only 1 week left in the NFL. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I
That's
can't.
usually how things.
There's only 1 week left of football.
Things end.
No. But there were a lot of records broken. For instance, Mark Andrews broke the Ravens single season receiving record. That's not just for a tight end, that's for receivers too. So, I mean, that's incredibly impressive. Cooper Kupp.
Beginning of the season, I said during the fantasy draft, I'm like, fuck it. Lamar's got to throw to somebody. Because there's really no other good receiving options besides
What?
him on
You're
that
telling me
team.
you don't like Hollywood Brown and Sammy Watkins and Rashad Bateman and whoever else is there?
Well, if you throw Mark Andrews on top of that, if there's one guy I want to throw to every time, it's going to be Andrews.
Oh yeah, no, he's the best option.
Yeah.
And also, it's been a lot of Tyler Huntley, who's had a really good season quietly, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Filling in for Lamar Jackson. So, is he better than Lamar?
Do you
No
think
one's better than
Baltimore gets the
Kendrick.
injury bug award? Like the team that got fucked over by injuries
Oh, absolutely.
the most?
Oh, absolutely. They lost
Yeah.
so many starters before the season even started.
Yeah, like what was it? It was their starting running back and
They
their
lost their
backup running
top.
back.
They lost their top 3 running backs, their top 2 corners, an offensive lineman who was a massive part of their team last year, a wide receiver.
Their starting quarterback.
Yeah, no, they've been pretty screwed over by injuries. It's not great.
There's always that one team in the NFL
Always.
that has their season ruined because of the massive amount of injuries they've had.
Yeah.
And I think this year it's the Baltimore Ravens.
I agree. I also think it is the Baltimore Ravens. Jonathan Taylor, unsurprisingly, broke the Colts single season rush record as he puts together, in my opinion, what is an MVP campaign.
Not Aaron Rodgers?
No, I think so. Okay, so here's what it is, right?
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers is the MVP. But I don't think people are going to give the award to Aaron Rodgers because of the whole COVID thing that happened.
Yeah.
So that takes him out of the running. And then it's really between Jonathan Taylor, Cooper Kupp, and Tom Brady.
Oh, not.
And it's
He
probably
doesn't
going to
need
go to
another one.
Tom Brady, if I'm being honest.
Ugh.
But I think it should be Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah. Out of the other options available, Jonathan Taylor 100%.
Or Cooper Kupp if he breaks all the records.
How far is he away from Calvin Johnson's record?
He's not that far away. Let me look it up.
I know he's
He
not
also has
far.
an
which
extra
surprised
week.
me.
All-time single season receiving yards. Calvin Johnson had 1,964. Cooper Kupp currently has 1,781.
Oh, yeah, he's really close.
Yeah.
But do you think they're going to arrest him because the last week of the season don't want to get your starters for the playoffs? Or
Oh, shoot. Wait, maybe he has more. Hold on. He has 1,829. So he needs 136 yards, 136 yards next week to break the record.
what do you do
So-
if you're the head coach? You're already in
I
the
mean-
playoffs. You already have the 1 seed.
No,
right?
you don't have the 1 seed. You're actually fighting for the division right now.
Yeah.
You need a win to clinch your division.
Yeah. So it's
Um,
like, who would they have? I guess it's still being decided on who would they play if they don't clinch.
Well, the difference would be a home game or not.
Oh, yeah, that's valuable.
Yeah. All right. Another record that is about to be broken, I think, this season. TJ Watt, gonna be Defensive Player of the Year in my opinion. He is 1 sack away from tying the all-time record for sacks in a single season that Michael Strahan set.
Yeah.
I mean, the Steelers, if they're smart, they send TJ Watt every single play, just blitz him, see if he can get 1.5 sacks. Let me look up who they play.
It's like half the reason why they're still in this playoff race.
Right.
Like if you had to choose a defensive MVP, it's definitely TJ Watt.
Yes. No. Yeah, that's the Defensive Player of the Year. I agree.
Yeah.
Let me look up Steelers schedule. Who they got? They're playing the Ravens, and that's a big game. That's the one that's gonna determine a lot of playoff seeding for them.
Yeah.
Because right now in the AFC, it's the Ravens, the Steelers, the Colts, the Chargers, and the Raiders that are fighting for 3 playoff spots right now. So
Fascinating final week.
it's going to be big. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sunday night game is going to be very big because that's the Raiders Chargers. Winner of that game is in the playoffs. Another sack record that was broken. Robert Quinn, Bears single season sack record. Cooper Kupp had the Rams single season receiving record. We were talking about that earlier. And Jamar Chase. I'm not sure if you guys saw the game Jamar Chase put up.
Oh, it was insane.
Man had 3 touchdowns, 266 yards, 86 yards. I don't know. It was a lot of yards. He had an incredible game. Game was so good. It was the best wide receiver rookie performance of all time.
Easily.
He had the most yards by any rookie receiver in a single game. New record. He also set the Bengals single game receiving record. So I mean that's going down in 2 history books right there. En route to the Bengals winning the AFC North in the route. The Bengals are looking scary.
Yeah, that is the biggest shock of the season so far. Like no one would have told you that the Bengals were winning that division this year.
No, probably not.
Yeah, even the most diehard Bengals fans probably wouldn't say they thought they were going to win the division this year. And then Joe Burrow had the best sound bite. He was just like, "Fuck it, Jamar out there somewhere."
Dude, I love Joe Burrow. That man,
So cute.
The swagger of that man, and very good looking.
Yeah.
The swagger and the way he carries himself, it's phenomenal.
And one of my favorite plays. Every week there's like some of my favorite plays of the week. You know.
Oh yeah,
Shane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the only good things about that game.
In the Vikings game, a game which, by the way, congratulations to the Vikings. They played a game that was more than one possession apart.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's pretty cool. It wasn't the way they wanted to go, but it wasn't a close game for once. Congratulations.
Well, yeah, when we don't have Kirk Cousins playing, and it's just some guy I've never fucking heard of.
You got a problem with Sean Mannion?
I've never heard of him before, and he played awful.
Yeah, no, he didn't do too great. But there was. Have any of you heard of the Immaculate Reception?
Oh yeah.
Hayden, do you know what the Immaculate Reception is?
No.
No? Hold on. Let me. The Immaculate Reception.
I mean,
Hold
I
on.
can look it up.
No.
The team wasn't the Steelers involved in it?
Yeah, I'm gonna share my screen. This one. All right, we're gonna take a look at this. Ready? We're gonna watch this Immaculate Reception. But first, we're gonna watch a Grammarly ad.
Well, that's so immaculate.
All right, here we go. This is one of the greatest plays of all time. Steelers, Cowboys. I believe this is in the Super Bowl. No, it's not. You don't even know what happened. You seeing this, right? They're gonna show a replay. All right, come on. Where is it? Right, so it bounces off that dude's head, and then he catches it off the dude's head. That's insane. But my point for all of this, right?
Yeah.
Is this is very similar to what happened in the Vikings game. This is very similar to what happened.
Hayden, have you seen the play?
Was it the one that you posted on Instagram?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
I saw that.
But you see, what happened was very similar, right? Throw was deflected backwards. Center Bradbury on the Vikings catches it, runs. That was a little mini immaculate reception right there. But my favorite part is that this dude is an offensive lineman, right? He makes an incredible catch and just keeps going.
That went like 25 yards.
Dude, that was one of the coolest things.
It was phenomenal.
That was awesome.
I was so sad watching that game And then just seeing that play, I'm like, all right, this helps. This makes up for all the misery I've gone through. Just to see that phenomenal play.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
like Bradbury, he hasn't really been the best offensive lineman from us, but that play alone, just like, all right, we have to keep this man just because he made that play. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And it was so funny because he caught that ball and everyone was like, wait, what the hell's going on? And he just runs while everyone's still processing what the hell just happened.
Ugh.
And then it was just misery from then on out, but at least we got that play.
Right, that's something you can hang your hat on.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Fires him already.
that was all, that was all the important stuff for football. I wanna get into a very fancy segment. A segment I like to call Hayden's question of the week. What you got for us?
Well, so as you know, there's this thing called music, right?
Uh-huh.
And now
There's
some
this
music,
thing called music.
and now music has different genres, right?
Sure.
Yes.
So there's this one genre called rap. Who's the GOAT?
I don't think this is the right crowd to be asking that question to.
Wow.
Hayden.
Yeah. What a great crowd to ask that question.
Yeah, I win. Checkmate.
You win?
You have.
What's your favorite chess opening then, huh?
Chess opening? Oh, I got you. Hold up.
Thank you.
Hold up.
I am not familiar with that.
No. We're gonna do this for you, all right? All right?
Yep, loving it. I love that chess opening.
Hold on. I need to add
The
it in
triple
chat.
threat chest opening.
The triple threat chess opening. Come on. Dude, I literally cannot. Okay. Here we go.
Function.
There we go. Done. All
Wow, we
we're
got
gonna go to-
113 views.
Huh?
I was just seeing the YouTube analytics.
Oh yeah, that's in the last 28 days. All right, chess opening, right? Boom, boom. Dude goes here, right? And you make a little box, right? It's not a very good one, right? But pawns up here. You see that? And then
Yep.
you put your knight here and your other knight here. And then you put your bishop here and your bishop here. And then you got a nice little box.
Okay.
That's my favorite chess opening.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Anyway, what about you, Shane?
I don't know enough about chess to qualify that answer.
Oh, me neither.
Like it's been like I haven't played chess since I believe like middle school.
Well, what'd you do in middle school, Shane?
I don't know, just kind of like move the pawn forwards and yeah, that's all I know.
Wow.
I don't really have a strategy. It's just like move the pawns forward and then just open it up for your, your knight, your bishop, and your rook to cause havoc.
Yep, that's
Yep.
fair.
It's just like move the pawns out of the way so I could actually get the pieces that are useful to go out and take stuff out.
Understandable. Hayden, what about you? What's your favorite chess opening?
I like the king's pawn. Two out. Just classic.
Just classic.
Kind of boring, but it works.
Wow, that's crazy.
Aiden, going back to your previous question, who do you think is the GOAT rapper?
Oh, Kendrick.
Kendrick? Because I know the debate, it's like either, is it Drake or Kendrick? Or is it
No.
No?
Drake, if someone says Drake is the greatest rapper of all time, run away.
Yeah, they're
That
wrong.
person-
Okay.
It's literally just not worth your time at all.
I guess Kanye up there. I'm just trying to.
Kanye's, some people say Kanye.
All right.
A lot of people say Kanye.
And then would Eminem be up there, or is he just kind of like a tier below that?
I mean, I'm sure there's people who think Eminem is. I certainly don't.
Yeah. It was just like Eminem's
Eminem
great
fell
and all,
off.
but it's kind of a stretch to call him the greatest.
His early stuff is
definitely
good.
Yeah.
His early stuff is good. His recent stuff is.
Yeah. Who would you?
He
So
has a song
Kendrick.
with Ed Sheeran.
He did a song with Ed Sheeran.
He 100% did a song with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah, he did. He did. It was about his mom or something, and then he did another one, I think. No, that was someone else. That was Nate Roos from Fun. Sorry, yeah, different tangent. Yeah, he
If
did
you
a song
do
with Ed
a-
Sheeran. I know what you're talking about.
If you do a song with Ed Sheeran, I'm sorry, you're out, automatically disqualify yourself.
You're not a rapper anymore.
That's just. It's Ed Sheeran, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a redhead. What are you doing with that?
Right? Like, get out of here.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of Kendrick. That's the one I've heard the most about being the greatest. And I would tend to agree because I'm not a huge Kanye fan. So
Jeremy, you have a horse
Me?
in this race?
No, I don't. I don't.
like I know enough about rap to
Jeremy thinks it's
sort
Juice
of
WRLD.
Who? Oh no, I don't. I don't.
I'm glad.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Well, thank you for joining us. It's been quite a show.
as.
Yeah.
All right. Are we gonna do no? Well,
Are
have
we
you
gonna
got?
do?
Do you have the times for next semester? We're gonna be on the radio.
No,
Not
I
yet?
don't. Nolan
Alright.
said he would let me know.
All right.
But thank you everyone for watching.
Yeah.
Goodbye.